Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh. You know, let's see. Wee. Wee. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Hello, people. Hello, hello, hello. We're back again. I can already tell this is not going to be an exciting stream. Or who knows? Maybe this will turn out to be the hit stream. The stream that everybody wants to see. The stream that all people dream of. Probably not. I feel like I did something. Oh, yes. I've read 2 books in the past few days. Which is cool, I think. I read a crime novel by Don Westlake, which was really fun. It's called Road to Ruin. It's in his Dortmunder series, which is a fun book series. I'm slowly working my way through. And then I read, it's weird because I still associate these people with youngness, but I'm the same age as them, so it's a weird thing. I read Jeanette McCurdy's book from iCarly about her experiences with her mother and filming and stuff. That was a harrowing book, bleakly funny at times. I enjoyed it quite a lot. It was very... I laugh when I'm nervous. But she has a compelling story to tell, and she tells it bravely, and I appreciated that. And it's always interesting. I'm always interested in learning the behind the scenes stuff of all this stuff, and the behind the scenes of the Nick sitcom machine is kind of crazy. Shock of all shocks, Dan Schneider, who there's weird shit always against him, turns out nothing of the overt creepiness has been nothing overt creepiness, but creepiness nonetheless. He was Apparently, Dan Schneider is one of those dudes. Like, oh, you're so tense. You're so tense. Like, maybe I should just give you a massage. Come on, let me give you a massage. To the young teen girls that he has under his guidance. So, you know, what have you? Anyways, I would give both of those a rec. I'm looking for. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. No. Still a little lost on what to do going forward. Partly why streaming has not become as important to me, because it's like, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what I should figure out something to do. You know, usually people are like, oh, I can't wait to relax. I don't feel comfortable relaxing. I like working on stuff. I feel when I don't do anything, I just like ferment pretty much, and I just go. And I'd rather like be working hard on something, which is maybe not the best attitude in the world to have, but it's where I am right now in my head, and I prefer it. And that's just what I'm gonna do. Hustle culture is not great, and there's a lot of issues with it. But I like, you know, what I enjoy is learning new things and like trying to acquire new skills and stuff. So there's that. Trash egg. This is a great video. How did this old video come? Like, look at I don't know who's old enough to remember this, or young enough to have not seen this. Funny little video. 1 second. Anyways, I'm thinking about trying to write a shorts. Eat Bum's World. What happened to this dude? You know, it's not necessarily the fall. It's like how funny that's the funny part. That's the real funny part, that he tried to get up again. Oh, I hope his life wasn't ruined. Please tell me his life wasn't ruined. Oh boy. Thank you. No, your meme for quoting Encyclopedia Dramatica in full. Thank you. You should definitely do that. Edie is something you should definitely be quoting in full. Don't censor the slurs that they like to do. Like, geez, makes me mad. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay. He did okay for a Hollywood stunt guy. He did okay. That feels about. There's a lot of stunt guys out there who are like amazing at their job, but they're like, and then you see them act, and you're like, oh, yeah, we get why you're sticking to the stunts. Not to say that like a stunt guy can't become a great actor. It's happened before, but it's just like some guys just aren't destined, and maybe it seems like. But I hope he's doing well. It is maybe one of the funniest videos. I feel so bad. He seems like he had a good career though. He's still working. Some guys work a lot. I don't know. It makes me laugh. I feel bad for laughing a little bit because I know like those early videos kind of screwed over some people. Still trying to think about what to do. What type of short story do I want to write? I like this movie. Well, I liked it when I was like 12, so I assume. When I saw it, so what? Atlantis was such a fun. I want to write a short story so badly, but I'm doing it for the wrong reasons is the issue. And that's like a complicated thing. It's like partly why I want to write a short story is so I can try and get it published because I want to. That's just want to, I want to cross that whole thing of becoming an officially published author. But it's like you can't just like go, okay, like I'm going to get published now. It's like no, you have to actually have a day. You actually have to have a decent idea, and I'm just like, it's like, damn it, like mine give. And I'm just like, this would be cool. I should rewatch this. I love every TV tropes is fair for its day thing because it'll talk about like some really racist thing and then go like, but the characters. Not that I think this one's real racist, but I'm just like, probably the white savior thing is not great. I don't like those parts. I don't like those plot lines. I should make a video about it, explaining why I don't like the white savior trope that well. I mean, it's obvious, right? It's like obvious why it's like it's stupid. I don't know. I should rewatch this. I bet I'll like it again. Okay, so random thought. I guess we're just going random thoughts of Disney movies. I see. Oh boy, not Disney. Oh right, DreamWorks. Road to El Dorado is like 2/3 of a really good movie. What frustrates me is there's no. What frustrates me about Road to El Dorado, and I think why it's screwed up. There's no beginning act. It literally just starts right as the story starts, and theoretically. I know some people say, oh, that's good, right? And I'm like, no. We have no idea who these characters are. You kind of... There's no first act. There's second and third act. And the thing about it is, it's better... You should introduce characters, how they live, why is this day different is so important. But I find it very frustrating because, like, the plot just starts and I have no idea who these characters are or what their, like, standard bit of life is. Anyways. Hollywood. Come on. What are you doing bringing Jeff Ross? No, which... Oh, come on. Why are you bringing Jeff Ross on? This song is really good. And the animation is great. Anyways, this is already an hour of. You know, I have so many streams available, like good streams where I talked, like had really good times with people in my account, in my YouTube page, ready to be posted. But I can't at the moment because I'm terrified. Like, you know, I don't mind. It takes hours, like days, to get rid of look at all the stuff that has to get cut out. Look at all this. Oh, well, this one. Oh, we're finally getting close to getting this fucking thing released. I don't even know which one this is. But look at this. Look at this. I have to get rid of all of these parts. And what's frustrating is it'll take days, weeks. I have stuff months old that I'm not able to release at the moment because it's still being stuck, like dealing with shit. It's like, just like I'm in a fairly unique situation in that I don't really care about like the longer like streams I post getting like cut down a little bit. But like imagine like people who like do reviews of stuff and like idiot companies are like, well, see, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. I see no restrictions. Public instant premiere. Ah. No, it's not made for kids. Because I say cursed words and allude to sex every once in a while. I don't even know which one this was. Clearly, it's not as big a hit as this one. I really like part 2 of this stream. I think it gets really good in part 2, but won't be seeing that for like a year, probably. That's cool.
Outnumber the downs, but not denying. Every town.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I found this. There's been this effort. There's this language, I believe, in Alaska. It's called Hodota. Dia Guten Ayala Gadan Halak King's Gaha. So this is a language called. We'll get to writing eventually. I don't know what to write though. I've been like blocked for weeks, and at some point it all comes, but it takes a while sometimes for that to happen.
The
The
wind
wind
pushed.
pushed.
Let's see. So it's called. Let me find it. I found this on the TikToks lately. Which, by the way, if you haven't gone on my TikTok, a video of mine just went viral, so that was pretty exciting. And I pissed people off by implying that fascism and eugenics are bad. But, let's see. Edit it correctly, darn it. Edit it correctly. Edge with an accent's better. I want to see the trailer for this. I think that sounds beautiful. And so it's I want to see this like.
Inha, Stapohagan, Dangichagan, Ponsuga. The Kauriskan, Big Yanghan, the Gigi Arjun. Haingachi, the Art. Gamyan Bohagam, the Gigi Sirna. The cards spawn again. The good nice Elis again. The Pasandai. The Tuishishuna. Hudam. Yan Fagadu. Hudam Gahihil.
Nobody's here but me. Sakawea Kumba. was cool, right? Oh, this was funny. Manny showed me.
Taylor Notler is not.
It's funny. A follower showed me that. That was funny. Anyways, I definitely want to. Oh, I should. Let me just look it up. Where could I get it? Okay. I forgot I'm still in the World Anvil Discord. Won't be there for long. Okay, so when you're making a movie, thing you always include is where the fuck did you release it? Oh, it drives me crazy. I want to see the thing. I want to see the thing. It's on. Oh, it's on Roku. Oh, it's on. Oh, you can get it through Apple. That's better. Much get it better. Yeah. I've always had an idea of like. Once had an idea that I was supremely disappointed in that Elvis movie, by the way. There was not a single elf. Why call it Elvis? Obviously meaning lots of elves. Without any elves. It's just about like some singer dude. Second, it is freaking freezing in here, and I want to turn off my fan. Elvis. Hey. I gate. So smoothly. I gate around the world like some sort of. I will put on a robe because I'm cold and I would like some heat. Look at him in his resplendent. Look at him in his resplendent glory. In his resplendent. I've been trying to learn more about like pre-Columbian like native populations. It's hard just because of, you know, we stole their culture and history from them. And then we scream at them for go back to your own countries, but there's some interesting stuff there. Notably the South American is a little bit more well documented. There's more indigenous people there. Partly because the Inca and the Aztec, you could write had more stable. Not that there weren't structures built in the north. There was actually a lot. We have evidence of at least two major metropolises. One in Mississippi and one, I believe, in Mexico. The other one, we suspect there was another major metropolis. The Mississippi one is amazing. Like, it was possibly one of the biggest cities in the world at a point. I really want to see it. I'm bad at names. If you've been here long enough, you know that I'm really bad at names. City. Ancient city in Mississippi. Yeah. Choka. And then, so what we've got. So what we got left are these like mounds that they built, pretty much. And, you know. Sorry. It's confusing because the river is named Mississippi, and I get it now. Serious. Most of these mounds were levied, and I believe one of the bigger ones was they tried to turn it into a Walmart. They did, if I remember correctly. Like, it's just fucking idiots. Just fucking idiots. Give me at least like 2 or 3. Gonna do something amazing. What the f? Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. My streams are the best. I walk a lonely road, the only know. Fuck. You know, every once in a while I forget how great Beck is, and then, like, something like this happens. Like, this clip comes out, and I'm like, this is gonna cost me a month. This is gonna cost me a day or two before this can get out, but screw it. I wanna be back. Okay, like, this annoys me, so I'm annoyed by something. I hate when people go like they look at like a forum of like all the people going like, wow, this is so amazing, and it's like, honest question, 20, 30 people who comment how much they enjoy this, is this considered good? Is this considered something you enjoy? Is this considered a thing you're into? It's like, yes, dude. Yes, people just said it to you. I don't know. I'm just asking questions here. You know, I'm just asking questions because I want to complain about something. I think everybody's faking it because I can't understand authentic emotions when I see it. And maybe that says something about me as a person, but I don't think so. I don't think I can understand when people are being authentic because I'm a jackass. I'm just asking questions here. I'm just asking ideas here. That's what I want to say. Questions. Clap hand. That's what I want to say. I'm just asking questions. So, don't be that person. Don't be irritating like this. Don't be irritating like that, my man. Clap hand. Honestly, I'm just trying to get my head like an idea. Is this a Tom Waits song? I think it might be.
I clap my hands along, get back along, like a back of phone. I'll get my uniform when the bells will fall till the early morning. I'll sing my back.
According to Kanye West. Fuck off. It's that thing where it's like, what does Steven Seagal say about the haters? What does Steven Seagal say about the haters? What's Seagal's opinion about the haters? Yeah, who cares? Seagal is a weirdo, creep, fascist dude who can barely do karate. It's me, it's Steven. Clap hands. Okay. I don't know what people are thinking that. Sean, are you saying that you're super into Stomp? And the truth is, a little bit. I saw it when I was a kid, and I thought Stomp was super cool. I don't know how much I would like it without like somebody with like the musicianship of Beck to like frame it all. So. By the way, fuck Airbnb. You ruined cities. You ruined renting. I said it. Hey, Justin, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I was nervous there for a second. I was like, "Oh, you're your first time chatter." I was nervous there for a second. Oh, it's just Andrew. Okay, I'm dumb. I read that as Justin. Hello, Andrew. How's it going? Sorry. How is life? Are you a writer? Do you write? That's good. That's good. Yeah, my sleep schedule is all screwy too. Oh my god, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. I need to create unique follow alerts. Thank you so much. What type of stuff do you write? Theoretically, I do fantasy as well. That's cool, but love some fantasy here. What are you working on right now? Any particular authors you like? The Knight. He was big. Okay, I'm curious. Explain this to me. Nor should you. Any fantasy you're reading lately? So tell me a little bit more about your story. So, is it guy from our world gets reincarnated into a fantasy world sort of thing? Is that the story? There must be Okay, cool. Sounds wonderful. I'm liking this. So how long have you been working on it? good. That's good. That's good. How far are you in? That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds fun. No. You lied to me? What? So you're still in... That's awesome. So you're in the like giddy excitement of working on something right now. That's really great. Have you always wanted to write? No, not really. Having a little trouble? So tell me, what stuff do you like? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Want to talk about it? Want to talk about it? We can talk about it. Yeah, it's... I mean, writing can be very stressful. It definitely can be. I've definitely been there before. I've definitely been there before where I'm like, why is this not working? Why is this not working? Is this your first kind of work? Is this the first time you've taken this seriously? Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. That's a very common issue people go through, that it's like you have this like grand vision in your head where it's like Can I try and give you like a little bit of a mindset when a situation like that happens, Andrew? If I could, because that's gonna because I hate to break it to you, Andrew, and not to be mean or something, that's gonna happen again. That's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen a bunch of times where it's just not gonna hit the right mindset for you. Where it's just like this idea is so clear in my head, but the second I try and get it out on paper, it just doesn't work. So like a few things. If I could, like, remember that, like, first, this is your first book, right? This is the first time you've attempted to write something like this, okay? If I'm not mistaken. So it takes time to learn how to do all this stuff, and it's a pro. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you this advice anyways, because I don't want you to get stuck like this again. Okay. So writing is so much about, this is basic advice, but writing is so much about rewriting, and often your best writing comes like the third or fourth draft. And it's just so important right now to get like your first draft down. So if the writing isn't great right now, like don't worry about it. Like I wouldn't worry about it. Like and I know saying don't worry about something, but it's like you have kind of infinite chances to get this right is the thing. Like you don't, I assume like there's no editors breathing down your neck or something. Like there's no, like you're not in a professional relationship where you have to finish this book. So you have like infinite chances to get this correct. And it is, the word I always like to use this, the writing is a war of attrition more than anything. So like if you fuck up, it's okay. You do? Are you paying an editor? Can I ask how you have an editor and deadlines? I'm just curious. Oh, it's a friend. Then don't worry about a friend. What I mean is like what I mean by that is like you're not food. You won't, if you don't write, like you eating is not depending on how much writing you get out is what I mean. Does that make sense? Like you're not at that level yet where you have to, you're not at that level yet where where like this is, if you screw up, like that's what I mean by that. You're not at the level yet where if you screw up, you go hungry. I know you're just a kid. I could tell right away. And these are the exact same things I had. These are the thoughts I had when I was a kid and I was trying to write. So, and this experimentation right now is really important for you as like a young writer. I can tell. So like I don't want you to like, you shouldn't obsess over like you're starting to learn a new skill, and this is going to take time to learn how to do it correctly. And sometimes it takes people their whole lives to learn how to do this. So like you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot. And like, the thing is, like, so much of art is about like learning to screw up and then screwing up less, if that makes sense. Like, there will be struggle years where you'll learn how to No, Andrew, I could tell almost immediately. You're not the first kid to come on this stream. I don't know. It's sort of an instinct I have. Like teenagers write in very specific ways in Twitch chats that I can pick up on usually. I mean, I could tell you exactly how I guessed. But I don't want to. There's a distinct way that teenagers usually have of talking on Twitch that it's pretty easy to pick up. Oh, it's how you described your story, Andrew. It's how you described your story. It's how I figured it out. Okay, so If I could. I don't want to be mean. But it's how you described your story that I kind of guessed. It's a reincarnation fantasy. It's a girl and she has to protect the perfect life pretty much until her BF insisted on of the first kiss, stabs her in the stomach because the bad guy. And then I was like, teens always use those terms like BF and I believe you also use MC at some point. Yeah, MC. That's how I was able to guess. I don't know your story, Andrew. I don't know your story, so I don't know how to describe it. But it's the way teenagers. I've read a lot of teenager. Okay. Let's see. It's not that it's bad. It's just, that's how I was able to guess. Okay, so let's see. The stomach, because the bad guy told him to, and hell gave him powers because my main MC has the power that the bad guy wants, so war breaks out. I don't know what any of that means. I know that your main character has a power of some sort and the bad guy wants the power. I would say maybe the villain is trying to control a power that she possesses is maybe how I would go with that. I'm really not trying to be mean here. I think I think this is good I think you're doing good. I think this is a good start, and you're in a good spot. Like you're in a good spot, and you should be willing to experiment like this, Okay. I'll give up. Because Andrew, when I was a young person, when I was a teenager, sometimes people gave me really harsh advice, and it really hurt, and I had to. It took me a while to get over that. So I get scared when teens come on the stream and they ask me for advice. That's the reason. Okay. I don't know. I've never read your story, Andrew, so I can't give you any actual concrete criticisms here. No, I'm not going to do that. We will give honest advice, but we will give honest but fair advice. Is my philosophy here. Okay, so the issue you have, and this is a fairly common issue that newer writers fall into, and I fall into frequently, is you as a person know exactly what your story is about. Okay? I assume in your head you know everything you know all the facets of your story. But this is not that great of a description because I don't know the implications of this, and you use too many vague terms. Like a lot of writers fall into this trap of when they're describing things, it's too vague. Everything is too vague, so I don't know what any of this means. And this is of course Twitch, in that it would be helpful to have punctuation, but that's just Twitch, the casualness of Twitch, so I don't really care about that. Let's see. Let's put this. And not because I have writer's block and you coming around helps me avoid dealing with that. Not at all. Again, I don't know what your story. I haven't seen your story, so I can't give like concrete advice on any. Oh no! Damn it! No! Stop that! Ah. Okay, I'll just do this. No, neither do I. I'm terrible at spelling. I'm an awful speller. I also don't know. I'm pretty sure what a reincarnation is a reincarnation fantasy an isekai that the teens are into these days. Oh, of course, of course. And you shouldn't. And by the way, do not. No judgment for that. No judgment for that at all. I know people are very insecure when they're trying to write in English and they're not native English speakers. And no judgment at all for that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so. So, like, I don't know, maybe I would say something. She had. What's your main character's name? What's your main character's name? Let's give it a name. Come on. Three-dimensional. Well, little Englishism. It's you mean three-dimensional, right? Okay, Velia. And I'm not saying this is going to be a good description. This is just going to be like an idea I have. Oh, maybe just how. Well, I assume Andrew. Oh, damn it. You're not a lady. But here's what I would say about that. I mean, I have a lot of theories on character development, character writing on how to kind of do it. If I could explain to you a little bit process on how to like create decent characters. So, okay. Let's start with this. Describe Valia. Give me 3 words to describe Valia. Let's start with that. We're going to be doing some Socratic methods here, my bud. Okay, intelligent, cunning, and sweet. That's good. What type of intelligence? So, like, there's a bunch of different types of intelligence. There's emotional intelligence. There's academic intelligence. There's there's street smarts, which is like people are aware of how the intermingle of people. Like, what would you say she's like? What is she intelligent at? Like, what is she particularly smart with? Is she good at memorizing like facts and numbers? Okay. So she. Okay, but how? Okay. What is her? What is she good at in school, essentially? So. Okay, so she's good at languages. So she can pick up languages easy. Is what you're saying? Why is she good at picking up languages? What in her brain makes her good at picking up languages? Okay, that's obvious. Would you say if she didn't have to deal with this fantasy stuff, Maybe she would have ended up like as a linguist or something. Linguist is a person who studies language. Okay. Okay. But, so she has kind of a mind, so she picks up patterns and stuff easily. What does that also mean? Language competition. So is she into the academic study of those sorts of things? See, I have a theory. I'll explain in a second what I'm doing. So would you say she maybe has passion for like exploring culture? Okay, makes sense. So let's see. It's a linguist. Okay, so I would say probably curiosity is a good. Curiosity is probably something. Would you say she's curious? Would you say she knows how to turn would you say her... Okay, she's more observant. So, would you say that also makes her a little bit distant then? So, like, she has a tendency to step back and observe something, but maybe she doesn't like going in directly to things? Okay, we're good. Okay, so this is good. So she has trouble, maybe she has trouble making friends. Okay, good. Okay, so let's see this. Then do these trust issues mean she has kind of high standards for people sometimes? Maybe a bit too high standards, but like she has high standards of people. And does that reflect back into herself? Does she expect her friends to Okay. So her dad... Justin... Sorry. For some reason, I read your name and I think Justin. It's Andrew. Okay, so you've got a pretty well-developed character here. Okay, so the question is, how does that play out in her friendships? No, it's Andrew. Your name is Andrew. It's just because I see it's just Dan and then Drew, so it's Andrew. Your name is Andrew. I'm going to call you by your real name, by the name. So how does that affect her friendships? So does she push people away, or does she... or is she scared of letting anybody go? Okay, okay. But what are her friendships like? Okay, okay. Does she have trouble admitting that to? Does she have trouble admitting that the friendships are real? You know, when I know people like, when I know people like this, okay, okay. Okay, so how did this so how okay, okay. So how does this mix with her being sweet? So the sweetness is kind of a facade. Okay, okay. What was the other word you used? Cunning. That's the other word you used. You know, Andrew, I would say makes sense. Makes sense. You know, Andrew, I would say you expressed nervousness about writing a three-dimensional female character. I think you got a pretty three-dimensional 3D character here. So a thing I do a lot when I write is I like to break down like the yeah. Well, then that's your job to make it better, you know? Yeah, no shit. It's sad, really. Although, like, Andrew, like, my thought process is, I've talked about this before with people, like, the isekai genre is just waiting for, like, is just waiting to be, like, to me, like, the isekai genre is waiting for a breakout series with a female lead in it, you know? Like, it desperately needs, like, the market is so clearly there for one. So I think you're already ahead of the pack with this idea. Like isekai is kind of trashy. Yeah, it's been like the market is so clearly there for one. It just needs somebody to actually do it. So you are 100% on the mark for all that stuff. I was talking to somebody about this. I was talking about this with somebody a couple months ago. Like it's like crazy to me that there hasn't been one yet already. So I think I heard about that one. And I mean, I'm sure there's like a few online, like web novels online that are attempting that, but somebody has to make a bold thing. When I try and write, like what I was doing there is in my head, I do a thing called if true, then what? So I ask myself, okay. And when I try and like write characters, I go like, okay, if this character is this, then what else is true? I figured. How's that going? I knew somebody who was publishing on web novel. I know this. Are you doing the whole like doesn't web novel have a brutal schedule that they can put on you if they want? Am I thinking of the right thing? Good, you should. That's the best. That's the way to do it. Because I know. Yeah. I'm just thinking. Which one is the one that has the kind of the real hardcore scheduling? Yeah. No, yeah. Sounds like, yeah, from what I've heard, they do a lot of that stuff. I mean, I've been also, yeah, okay, it's web novel, that's the one who does that. Are web novel and webtoon connected at all? Or am I just... Because I know webtoon also has like very similar business practices. No, don't ever say that. Is that bad? Did I just say something bad? Oh no, I'm sorry. Is it? Yeah, I'm a pretty big comic fan, and I've been meaning to try some webtoon stuff, but it's just like, I haven't found anything that interests me. Possibly because I'm far too old for some of the things. I know I've seen some writers complaining about the scheduling, but it went... The beginning after the end. The art looks good. Is it a light novel turned comic? Well, that's fun. Yeah, it's not exactly what I'm looking for, though. But, yeah. Yeah, I have a friend who does like web novel stuff, and actually, I haven't seen her. I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know. I may be more in the mood for like a comedy than like something serious. I know there's a Batman. No worries, Andrew. I know there's a Batman webtoon with some of that I've been kind of I've been curious, but I was thinking about I'll probably read that at some point. But that's not homegrown webtoon stuff. That's like stuff I already like being pushed through a new format. So I don't know. So Andrew, tell me a little bit about yourself. What are you into? I get a sense you're into like manga and isekai stuff. What about music? What are you into any type of music? Oh, what bands? You can play a song. We don't have to listen to Lo-Fi Girl. I listen to Lo-Fi Girl way too much. I mean, I like Lo-Fi Girl, but I'm also like, the thing about Lo-Fi Girl is I often play it when I stream, so I've listened to it just so much over my life. I'm like, I'm a little bit like, okay. Let's see. What type of music? Let's see. What have I been listening to lately? Let's play something a little bit more fresh, a little bit more. Boo, boo. Oh, yeah. I was listening to this. This is... Oh, right. Gotta turn off the Lo-Fi Girl. 1 second. Kind of obsessed with this song lately.
Hands along, good bad long, at the back of all. I'll get my uniform from bed to fall to the early morning. I'll save my best for last, and after that, don't need to relax. I'll whip that on the bill, then send it out before the bomb to you.
I want to put it on something you like, Andrew. I want to put it on something you like because we're going to do something in a second, and it's good to have like a little bit of music. Is it a band called Television? Classic. There's a classic rock band called Television, but this the band? Good choice. Let's see. Oh, so far so good. That's a song. Do you want to do some writing? And Andrew, do you want to do some writing? How did we do? Let's see, I'm not entirely sure. I kind of went all over the place. Word count, 98. Probably not a lot. 97. $239. And some ideas. Maybe had an idea for a little bit of a script. Right on, right on. That's good, that's good. You did good. Hey, that's 170 words that you didn't have before. And I think that's pretty darn good. Oh, nice. Okay, good. I was nervous there. Yeah. You know, I used to play in this program called Flow State. It's a really great program. And what it does is it's a program that you set a timer in it, and you write in it. But if you stop typing for 5 seconds, it will delete everything it will delete everything you wrote for that session. We'll do some more of that. That was good. We'll do some more of that. We won't do it right this second, but we'll do it in a minute. I like to, who cares? What exercise is that? Real exercise or like a writing exercise? Then you should do it. What is your exercise? Tell me about it, my friend. My friend. Okay. Well, that's an editing thing, though. That's that's a decent goal, but that's also an editing idea. Yeah. I would say it's better to just get the ideas down on paper first and then worry about all that stuff later. Can I suggest you an app? Andrew, can I suggest you an app? Or it's an app, but it's also a free. There's a free website version, so you can just. It's called Hemingway Editor. It's free online, so yeah. It's something I use frequently to help me with my writing. It'll scan for adverbs. It'll scan for uses of passive voice, and I'll tell you when sentences are too complex and confusing. I really like it. It helps me out a lot. It's totally free. You can just write it. You copy and most people just copy and paste. Theoretically, you could just. I would say write it somewhere separate, then copy and paste, and then fix it there. Because it's just a website, and if you click away, you'll lose everything you wrote. So. No, it's its own thing. It's totally free though, so. Do. Do 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 do. Really? Well, congratulations. I always make mistakes. Oh, and Grammarly. Well, that's good. Well, it's a good website, and I like it a lot. Andrew, I'm getting very sleepy. I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open. No problem. Stop by any time. And if you're on TikTok, I have a TikTok now. I post a lot of writing advice there, so. Well. Do I? Okay. I have a Discord thing and another thing. Okay, I'm getting sleepy. I can barely keep my eyes open. Night.